You want a shortcut to professional sounding leads, pads, atmospheres, and heavy bass sounds for your techno and melodic house productions? Then the new, ready-to-play Diva preset pack Circle Volume 2 is for you. Available now on productionmusiclive.com.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sound Design channel. My name is La, and today we're going to look at making a bass in the style of Rinzen. This really nice pitch bendy sustained bass. Let's have a listen. Cool. So yeah, it's actually very simple in nature. The MIDI is super simple. It's just this repeating A and C, and then the E at the end, which leads back nicely to the A. It's a very long progression, so it's playing over 8 bars, but nothing too crazy going on there. I've done a little bit of external processing to it, so I've added a bit of saturation, sidechain compression, which is very standard, and then there's a bit of reverb on a return channel, which you're going to see here, which I'll show you in a second. So let's recreate the sound. We'll just duplicate this. So we've got the processing and the MIDI. And what we want to do is just turn this one off, and I'll just keep this so it's playing together. Very nice. Cool, so we go to Diva. The patch itself is taken from Bound to Divide's Melodic House pack through PML, and it's this patch here called Bandit. So it's the second bass one here. But if we're going to recreate it from scratch, we just go to templates, we go to mini poly or mini mono, doesn't matter too much. And then we're just going to change this to DCO. So with this DCO, it's just using one oscillator, but you can use different waveforms with that one oscillator. So what we want to do is have this on this second option here. And we're going to put this on this squiggly line here, which is the second or third option here as well. And what we want to do is just transpose the whole bass down really low, so it's on -24, and then we're going to bring the cutoff down. We'll have a little listen. I'll just turn the processing off so you hear what it's like raw. Take the kick off as well. Okay, so right there we've just got this nice deep bass. Nothing too spectacular, but what we want is just a bit of glide in there. And so we just bring this glide up, and we also want to bring down the cutoff a little bit and then just engage a bit of the envelope too to add a bit of bite to the sound. And then with this bite, we're going to have a bit of release. Nice. A little bit more glide. And there we go. If you want more pitch bending in there, you can add this pitch bending with envelope too. So you can just do this. But this can sound really good on its own, but when you have a lot of other melodic stuff in there, it can sound a little bit dissonant and a little bit off. So just be careful with how much of this you use. But in this case, we don't need it. We've got enough with this glide. That'll do us just fine. Cool. The one other thing that I want to do is for this sound, we don't want it to sustain the entire time, just for a little bit, and then it will come back in and then fade down essentially. So we just want to get the sustain down to 0 and then bring the decay up. So we're determining how long the sound is just with the decay. You also bring the attack up a little bit. There we go. So we want it to fade down just a little bit before the next note. Not all the way, but just a bit. Yeah, there's perfect. All right, cool. So now let's add the additional processing. So typical sidechain, nothing crazy here. I'm sure I don't need to show you guys how to do a sidechain. And then we've got some saturation. So this is just a saturation unit from Ableton. I'll put it on this soft sine, a little bit of drive, and then the dry wet is at around 40%, 50%. And I've compensated for the volume I've added by minusing 6 dB. With this click from the sidechain, we do have this EQ here that we can sort that out with. So we just bring this down. It's just going to get rid of a little bit of the click. That's just because of the attack settings here. You can increase the knee and the look ahead, which sometimes does help, but sometimes does not. But it's all good. In context with the kick. And then on the return channel, so here it's the Ableton's default setting. It's just this reverb which is set up. We just bring through a little bit of this. And because we're putting it onto a bass, we want to make sure that we're not adding too much of the really low information here within the reverb. Just adds a little bit of atmosphere. And with the settings here, we've just got a big decay time. We're letting in a little bit of the highs, but cutting a little bit here. I left everything else here as the default, and all I did was just change the decay size. It's adding just a little bit there. We can add a bit more. It's not that strong, so if you wanted to go a bit further, you can add more volume actually with this EQ8. But yeah, you don't want to get too carried away there, but just adds a bit of atmosphere to the bass, which is really nice. And that is the sound essentially. If you want the preset, as I said before, it will be linked in the description. It's just this melodic house pack. It's called Bandit, which is by Bound to Divide. Really, really great preset pack. I highly recommend that you check it out. I'll link it down below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next video.
Do you want a shortcut to professional sounding leads, pads, atmospheres, and heavy bass sounds for your techno and melodic house productions? Then the new, ready-to-play Diva preset pack Circle Volume 2 is for you. Packed with 100 interesting and analog sounding patches that will make your tracks sound great right from the start. The Circle Volume 2 Diva preset pack comes with 100 accompanying MIDI files and a dedicated techno loop pack. Click the link to listen to the demos and check the bundles on the page. Available now on productionmusiclive.com.